Now imagine you in church. You're here for a good sermon, come to listen to some gospel music, about to give your life to the Lord. You're just ready to hear and receive some praise. But when everything was going according to plan, your pastor just out of the blue hit you with this.
Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors.
Now I don't know about you, but when I hear close the doors in church, I assume that we're going to pray, not be held for ransom. But let me not jump to conclusions, right? We had to find out what's really going on, so let me take a look at the video of what the pastor actually say and break it down. Now the video you're about to see is courtesy of CBS Texas, and if you want to see the original video that they post up, it will be linked in the description below. Just click the first link and you'll go over to their channel where you'll see the original video. Now let me go into this video and see what this man really say.
There's 1,000 of you. I said close them doors. Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors.
That is some gangster shit right there. You had to admit. You have to admit that. Like, watch. Look at the man hand movements. Look at the man hand movements. You had a. Everybody know. Yeah. But look at the hand movements, right?
Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors.
Close the doors. Tell me that somebody trying to hold you for ransom right now.
Close the doors.
First to begin with, right? First to begin with. Let me pull this back again. As all you take a look at this man right here. Look at the expression on the face. Uncle can't believe that the pastor just say what he just said. Look at the surprise. Look at the shock. He was like,
the doors. There's 1,000 of you tonight, and those that are watching, it's 1,000 that's watching online.
Wait. So let me get this straight, right? He wasn't pandering only to the people in the church, like inside the church at the moment. What he was trying to do is tell the people who watching online, like you watching this right now, I sure it have 1,000 all watching this right now together with the 1,000 people inside the church. And if all of them put together the same amount of money, we're going to meet that goal, and these people are going to get out of this church, are going to open the doors to let them go. If this was in a bank, how this is not a hostage situation?
This is a small seed. If I get 1,000 online to give this, if I get 1,000 in the sanctuary to give.
Why this man sweating so much? Something going on that we're not sure about here. Why he just drenched in sweat and everybody else on the stage just looking formal and presentable? But another thing I want to touch on, right? Look at the yes men in the back. Look at the yes men. The auntie, she as surprised. This auntie here as surprised as the pundit uncle who was shocked when pastor said close the doors. He was, what going on? He said, we are afraid. The auntie know what going on, but she like, I can't believe he actually do this. But look at the yes men in the back. Look at this one. Look at this one. They don't even know what he actually say, but all they know is that they have to agree with him. That is what they're doing there.
If I get 1,000 online to give this, if I get 1,000 in the sanctuary to give this, that's $40,000 tonight.
$40,000.
So, as you can imagine, this clip has caused...
And of course, when the backlash set in, you know, obviously they had to go and post a retraction video. Otherwise, a retraction statement. Otherwise, you know what's going on. The money gonna stop coming in the way it used to. So let me read this retraction and see exactly what you say. Alright, so this is on the 26th of March. Some have taken issue with a particular moment when I instructed the ushers rather firmly to close the doors during the offering. Brother, that wasn't rather firmly, that was gangster in that shit. And you know, that wasn't firm at all. To those unfamiliar with the church context or who may not regularly attend worship gatherings, this has been misinterpreted as holding people hostage, as well as offensive. That was never my intent. Tell me how anywhere other than inside this church, this would not be considered holding people hostage. You literally tell the ushers, close the doors. Close the doors! You know what I mean? And then you proceed to tell the people that if they want to leave, not only they, the 1,000 people in the church, have to make the donations to meet your criteria, 1,000 people who watching online have to donate the same amount to meet the criteria to let you out of the church. How is that not a hostage situation? Now, if this is shocking to you, this is really not something new. This has been going along for as long as religion was around. And if you can remember, let me give some example. Not too long ago, when it had the big flood in Texas, and Joel Osteen, the televangelist, he had a literal stadium, a literal football stadium for our church, and he refused to open the doors to let people in. Victims whose houses get swept away in the flood had nowhere to go, who was trapped outside, clinging on to life, and he refused to open the doors to the church and let these people in because he had new carpet. Or let's not forget Jesse Duplantis and the Demon Airlines, that is the public airways. He convinced his congregation that flying public airlines as a pastor of his stature was making himself an easy target for demons, because everybody know that demons does normally fly American Airlines. I don't know. But I must say one thing. We have to give it to this lady.
Telling you right now, that mother back there is not real.
Apparently she was onto something. Maybe that guy really was a demon. But as far as the pastor goes, Jesse, that is just TSA. You can't call the people demons, right? You need to calm down. It's a pastor. So let me be real for a second, right? This is not just one rogue pastor getting bold and going after a cash grab, a quick cash grab. This is a system. This is a system that was designed and perfected for generations. The blueprint is simple: guilt, fear, and the promise of blessings at a price. First, they deal with the guilt, because if you don't give, you're robbing God. That is what they say. Then comes the fear, because if you really love Jesus, you would give, and the amount you give will reflect the amount of blessings that you receive. So they say. And of course, the cherry on top, like I mentioned before, if you really love Jesus and you really love God, you would not hesitate. You would give, and the amount you give will be a reflection of how much you care and how much your devotion is worth. I'm sure you heard the saying before, because we say hear it a lot here in Trinidad with televangelists and pastors. The size of the seed that you plant will determine the tree of blessings that come after. And that is one of the most bullshit sayings I ever hear, and it's the quickest way to get people who are afraid, who are scared, who are dependent on religion to give as much as they can. And all of this boils down to the promise of heaven. You're literally buying a spot in heaven. And at that point, it feels less like fate and more like a scratch card, a lottery card. You just, the more I buy, the more money I put in to get in this stuff, is the higher my chances are to get into heaven. But again, the question comes down to, how did the pastor know that this is what God wants from you? Did God send him a message in the morning before the sermon and say, hey bro, here we're going on, right? Before you let these people leave, we need to collect $40,000 cash. Exact. Not a cent less, not a cent more. If you can't get it from the members in the church, you have a live going on. Make sure the people online seeing this and they send cash up one time. And we know that is not what happened. We know it have no magic telephone to reach God. Otherwise, so much people would have been in touch with their loved ones. But we know that is not the case. So why do we continue to let these people scare us into believing that the amount that we give will directly correlate to the amount of blessings that we receive? And if you're wondering, right, like he said, he going about this biblically. If you're wondering if Jesus would agree with this thing, let me talk about the one time in the Bible that Jesus actually get mad. When he walked into a temple and he saw the people using religion as a means to profit. He gets so mad that he just started flipping tables over and running people out of the temple. That was the one time in the Bible that I could remember that Jesus actually get mad. And what are these people doing? They're doing the exact same thing that Jesus said not to do. And why these people fall in faith constantly? And it's not stupid people. We have lawyers, we have doctors, we have people in high position in society, people who are educated, people who are intelligent. And the underlying factor to that is faith. And that don't mean that they're actually stupid.
What did he say?
It means that they believe in something, or they're willing to believe in something so much that they could put the last dime into it, hoping that it will pay out. But there are people like this pastor, like the one we talk about who need a plane to get rid of demons on public airways, who will take advantage of that situation. Some of these people, some of these pastors, if you really look into the way that they're behaving, they don't actually believe in the religion. They don't actually believe in the things that they're preaching. Because if they actually did, this wouldn't be happening. A pastor will hold you at ransom and demand $40,000 before he let you go. That is not what religion, that is not what Jesus was about. You can see it in the Bible, like he said, biblically. Now I know it have people who probably attend the church, who probably attend mega churches and churches who care about their services like this, with the amount you pay directly reflects into the amount that you get blessed. But I don't agree with that. That is my personal opinion. You let me know in the comment if you agree with what this pastor do, or if you don't agree, let me know why you don't agree with him. Let me have a little educated debate in the comment section. Do you think that this was a fundraising donation attempt, or was it just religious extortion? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, because you're going to have a lot more videos like this coming out. My name is Jeremy from Them Fellas Reviews, and I'll see you in the next one.